Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second day of the round of 8, the SBENU Star League Season 2. My name is Wolf with Moonblade tonight. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, Wolf. Very excited for this one. Starting off with quite an amazing match with Classic versus ByuL. I can't wait to see ByuL. He's pretty much the top Zerg at this point. Like, life's kind of like, he's getting really inconsistent, but ByuL is just getting better and better.
ByuL's performance in the Pro League Round 2 finals especially was like, I feel, a starting point of his dominance, because he was always pretty good, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then he started dominating with good strategies. He was able to beat Mar with that snipe build, and then he's doing better and better and better in this Star League. And life has fallen out now of both Star Leagues, so he's having a bit of a tough time.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising, kind of disappointing. Everyone has high hopes for him, me especially, as everyone would know. But, you know, these things happen. He's joined a new team. He was doing well for some time. His style kind of changed up a little bit more greedy, maybe too greedy, actually.
Yeah, perhaps.
So now ByuL is kind of taking the reins of the best Zerg in career and arguably the world right now. And he's definitely been performing, and today he might be able to do it again. This
is like literally one of the most stacked round of 8s any Star League has ever had in Korea, by the way. I think it is actually the best round of 8 we've ever seen.
Perfect. It's like you couldn't ask for a better round of 8.
Yeah.
Like all 8 players have just been like fantastic. Like the very first round of 8 day we had, it was so stacked. 4 of the best players in the world easily.
Yeah, and you know, we're going to be seeing that again today with these 4 players. So we do have a team kill a bit later on, so that could be crazy. I don't know if the matches are going to end up being like the highest level PvP we've ever seen, but there could be some really strange games. There could be some awkward, you know, even possibly base trades or something going on.
Well, yeah, it's what it all comes down to in these team matches. Like, just the mind games go to a whole new level when you're living with this guy.
Yeah.
It's your practice partner for the matchup.
Yeah.
It gets insane.
And it's a mirror matchup as well. So, I mean, that's pretty crazy. All right, well, here is the Champions Ring, by the way. Winner is going to be taking that home. And I believe one lucky fan will also get a copy of the ring as well. It's going to be raffled off. I've actually seen it and worn it. I actually ended up getting to try it on Tuesday. It looks pretty cool, you gotta say.
Yeah, I'd love a ring like that. It'd be kind of weird if I won it in a raffle though and I didn't actually win a Star League for it. I don't know. That's me personally, but one lucky fan out there will get one.
Yeah, and it's pretty rad. There's a SBENU jacket up there. And actually, get some sort of $5 coupon.
Interesting.
Or a $50 coupon, I believe. If you take a picture with SBENU items and upload it on your SNS, that's how you can win it. I'm just reading this as fast as I can. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool.
So SBENU's taken over esports in Korea.
Essentially, right? It sponsors both Star Leagues and now also League of Legends, big League of Legends tournament here. Well, looks like we're going to jump to an interview.
Looks like it. You're from these 2 starting players.
지금 8강 세 번째 경기를 앞두고 있는 한지원 선수와 김도우 선수를 만나기 위해 나와 있는데요. 경기 시작 전에 선수들과 잠시 이야기하는 시간 가져보겠습니다. 안녕하세요,
Let's talk to the players, starting with ByuL.
안녕하세요, 김도우 선수.
안녕하세요.
And
먼저
here's
한지원
Classic, of
선수.
course, as well.
지금 현재 남아 있는 마지막 저그예요.
네.
물론
So you're the
기아성 같은
last
선수들을
and
뚫고
final Zerg in the round of 8.
8강에 진출하셨지만
네.
마지막 저그라는 사실이 사실 조금
You were able to make it to the round of 8
있을
in
것
first
같은데
place
어떠세요?
in your round of 16 group. Do you feel any pressure being the last Zerg left?
오늘 아침에
I kind of feel pressured.
해설위원님이 김도우 선수를 찍으셨더라고요.
And the Korean commentators actually picked Classic to advance
아, 정말 중요한
in this match.
사실이네요. 사실
So that made me kind of
선수는
motivated.
8강이 중요한 게 아니잖아요. 물론 8강을 뚫고 나면 4강 결승에 또 더 한 발자국 가까워지시지만
Your goal must actually
우승
go
욕심이
beyond
굉장히
just advancing
나실
from
것
the round of 8.
같아요.
네, 엄청 많이 나고
So what are your
내
goals for the
기회라고
season?
생각하고 있어요. 지금이.
I think this is a very good opportunity for me to
기회의
become the
기로에선
champion.
김도우 선수, 상대가 또 김도우 선수잖아요.
네.
상대는 마음에 드세요?
How do you feel about your opponent, Classic? I like my opponent.
근데
I'm very happy to face
프로토스인
Classic.
게 가장 큰 변수인 것 같아요.
But he's a Protoss player.
김도우
So that
선수에게
changes everything.
자극이 될 만한
It does. It really does.
말씀 있으신가요?
거품?
Any comments for Classic?
그 한마디밖에
Bubble?
아, 거품.
That's
그
the only
한마디면
word
모든
I have
말이
to say.
필요가 없죠.
네.
네, 알겠습니다. 좋은 경기 기대하겠습니다.
네.
자, 다음은 김도우 선수.
Now it's a
네.
classic.
거품이라는 오명을 이제 씻으실 때가 된 것 같아요. 그렇죠?
네.
사실 김도우 선수는
So it's the opportunity to get rid of your nickname as the bubble.
우승자 출신이시잖아요.
네.
그런 의미에서 이번에 스타리그 양대 리그를 정복할 욕심 굉장하실 것 같은데 어떠세요?
So you were a champion.
제가 작년에
already in the
우승을 하긴
GSL.
했지만 좀 이제 거의 1년
So if you
1년
actually
가까이
get this
됐고,
championship, you'll be a champion of
또
2
이번
leagues.
시즌에 저한테
It's almost been a
굉장히
year since I was
기회라고
a champion.
생각하고 있기 때문에 오늘 무조건 이기고
And I think this is a really good opportunity to get back to that top spot. So I'm going to do my best to win today.
이번 스타리그의 지금 마지막 남은 저그예요. 네, 오늘 김도우
So
선수가
ByuL is the last
마지막
Zerg.
저그를 박멸시킬 선수가 될까요?
Are you going to be the
자신
one
있으세요?
to eliminate the last
네,
Zerg?
괜히 저그 팬들이 이제 마지막 저그라고 좀 응원을 많이 해주시는 것 같아요. 근데 뭐
The Zerg fans have high hopes for ByuL. They're supporting ByuL.
없애는 게 나은 것 같아서
So a lot of fans are rooting for ByuL to advance.
그냥 떨어뜨리도록 하겠습니다.
네, 좋습니다.
I'm
좋은
sorry
경기
though,
기대하도록
I'm going to have to
하겠습니다.
eliminate the last Zerg.
네, 이렇게 해서
And make this tournament very boring.
한지원 선수와 김도우 선수를 만나봤습니다. 이 두 선수 중 어떤 선수가 4강 대열에 합류하게 될지 스베누와 함께하는 스타리그 2015 시즌 2
So we'll of
잠시 후
course be looking
함께하시죠.
forward to seeing who's going to advance to the round of 4 out of these two players. Let's take a look at these sick lineups. 2 best of 5s today. Moonglade.
Oh man, I can't wait for these. ByuL versus Classic to start things off. We just had that interview. It's looking pretty interesting. ByuL, the last Zerg in the round of 8. The one Zerg hope we have. And then it's going to be the team kill Stats versus Zest, which is going to be a very interesting one. It's going to be a change of pace, simply because they are teammates and it is a PvP after all. So it's going to be a bit wonky, I have a feeling. Hopefully we do see some good matches there. And it gets... we get a nice juicy PvP from it.
Yeah, I'm hoping so as well. I mean, these two are incredible players. They've got a lot of experience in the matchup, and obviously they made it this far. And you know, we'll talk a little bit more about that matchup, I guess, as it gets closer. But I would definitely say the better one today is going to be ByuL versus Classic. So get in here soon, get in here fast, because this is the one not to miss.
Turn that stream on.
Turn it on.
Turn it on, please.
Turn it on.
We just don't get to know it. But seriously. All right, here we go. To look at some race statistics while we wait for everything to get sorted out. ByuL versus Race. He's got some pretty impressive ZVZ above all else. Looking at this graph.
Yeah. And you can see how often he's played against each race. The race he's played against the most is actually the matchup versus Terran, which is his worst matchup, but he's still found a lot of success in recent times. Also, versus Protoss, he has a bit of a weaker win rate. But yeah, his ZVZ is incredible, but he doesn't have as many stats to go on there. I feel like this graph is a bigger picture of ByuL overall, but it doesn't really show his recent successes and how good he's gotten so quickly.
Yeah, that is very true. He's had a lot of recent success in Pro League as well and in other individual leagues. And one of the more recent stats that we got to look at is his recent loss to Hero in Kesper Cup. You know, he got pretty dominated by him.
Yeah.
Granted, that is a teammate. There is, you know, another level of mind games to that as well. And ByuL will be playing against someone completely different in Classic. We get into their styles a little bit later, but it's going to be interesting to see how he goes today, because we just haven't really seen him against other Protosses really recently.
Yeah. And you know, looking at Classic stats, you can see across the board he's a little bit more consistent than ByuL. But again, this is more overall. This is a bigger picture of results since 2015. Well, if you look at the bottom right, you can see it since December of last year. That's kind of when we usually start picking these stats off. But if you look at this, I mean, he's a more consistent player overall than ByuL. But I feel like ByuL is moving quickly up on him, and I actually favor ByuL going into this series.
Yeah, me too. I'm thinking ByuL definitely has the edge coming into this. He's seen Classic style recently, which is a pretty unique style compared to most other Protoss. He's a very passive sort of Protoss player. He'll wait it out. He'll wait for the Zerg to try and attack him and build these ridiculous death balls and make it a very hard game for the Zerg player in the late game.
So this is actually recent 10 results, and this is what's really important. This is actually more about, you know, what we're talking about. Look at ByuL's recent matches versus Protoss. The last 10 that he played, he's 9-1 in that. And this is, of course, just offline in Korea. But that one loss, I suppose, will be the loss versus his teammate. Neither of these players, however, have much stats to go on in recent times in this matchup. They haven't had that many, you know, they haven't really been able to impress or show that many recent wins in this matchup like in the last month or so. So we don't really have too much to go on here. Most of the preparation is going to be going on behind the scenes in the team house. How they're preparing is really the most important thing.
Yeah, and let's not forget, like, who ByuL's practice partner is. It is CJ Hero, one of the best best Protoss players out there, and someone who's just done so well recently in Kesper Cup especially. So he has this great practice partner to go with. And Classic, he's got some good players. He's got who does he have exactly? He's got Zoo. He's got Dark. So he's got some not too bad ones either.
Sure.
It's going to be an interesting one.
Oh, just looking at this right here, this graph is actually showing their most recent results in best of fives. I believe, if I'm reading that correctly. Yeah, best of fives. And you can see that Classic does have a lot more experience in best of fives. Honestly, again, this goes back to the fact that in general, Classic has more results. He's been more consistent overall in his career. So yeah, he's a champion, so he's had more best of fives. He's made it to more later rounds of tournaments that end up going to best of fives more often than ByuL, who built most of his career over the last year basically in Pro League and best of ones.
That is very true. Let's have a look at these maps. Vani Research Station, Deadwing, Merry-Go-Round, King Sejong Station, and Overgrowth are going to be the ones today. I like this a lot. Vani Research to start things off. That's a pretty interesting map for both sides. We do see a lot of Warp Prism harass coming from the Protoss on this one as well to really put the Zerg out of place because it's such a hard base to defend, that pocket natural.
Yeah. And these maps are fairly new actually, both of them. So especially Cactus Valley, but you see that there's not too much to go on. There's no incredible stat like someone's 5-0 in one of these maps. So none of those stats really stick out to me, about their results. We could definitely talk a lot about the matchup on the map.
Yeah. Well, judging by the map kind of list as well, it looks like ByuL did choose this map. The next map is going to be Deadwing, which no doubt Classic is going to feel at home in, especially with his current style.
For sure. Classic is coming off of a recent loss in Pro League. Definitely going to affect his mentality. He looked pretty shaken when he did lose just a few days ago. Whereas ByuL, on the other hand, has been just kind of sitting back, preparing, relaxing. And I just favor him. I feel like he's got the right mindset right now, and he's on the rise.
It's going to be a fun one, Wolf. I'm very excited for this game. I can't wait to get it started, man.
Yeah, me too. And everyone is in the lobby here. I know some of you at home are having some stream issues. We are working to fix that right away.
Yep, hopefully ASAP. Only on a Zubik currently, but they are saying Twitch will be up momentarily.
Yep. Just giving you guys that update. All right, it's time, guys. Game number 1 in this best of 5. ByuL versus Classic here in the round of 8. Down here on the bottom of the map in blue for CJ Antis, it's ByuL. There he is.
Best Zerg in the world right now. And up here in the north, we do have the red Protoss player, Classic. Bubble or Chintus.
Yep.
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong. He's got a lot of nicknames, this guy. Some people call him the Zealot Protoss. Some people call him the Pizza Protoss because his name is Dou, which is also the same spelling that Creed's used for dough.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Pizza dough.
I didn't know that one. This poor guy, man. He's got way too many names there, and they're all pretty sad, actually.
Yeah. Well, he's it's funny. I was doing some research last night, and I ended up stumbling into the other Classic, the old Classic player from Prime, and I was like, oh well. Classic, man, for SKT's definitely had a much more successful career than the other player of the same ID, man.
it's the curse of the Prime players, unfortunately. Unless they get out, they just don't really find that success.
Yeah.
Look at this, ByuL already playing to the map's strength, going for that gold straight away.
Yeah, really interesting.
I was wondering if we were going to see this kind of style from ByuL. We do see, Leenock and all those kind of other sort of more gimmicky kind of players go for that style, but in a best of 5, throw it out there. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, and this is the kind of thing that you would expect to see on somebody who picks this map first, which is our theory based on the map pick order. We don't have that 100% confirmed, but it looks like ByuL picked this map first.
I'd be very surprised if ByuL went for Deadwing. I'm like, ByuL, you got balls of steel, man, because you're playing against this Protoss player that just plays so defensively. He plays like in such a I wouldn't say gimmicky, but it's just this unique style. It's like a very defensive style and very death ball oriented compared to any other Protoss. And you just defend, 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 and you make that army that you know the Zerg cannot defeat.
Yeah. Well, Classic is going to scout this pool timing, and he's going to see that there's no natural, and he's going to know that the third base is somewhere else. And we'll have to, of course, react accordingly. He's gone for Nexus first into Gateway.
You know, playing that map, you know, why not do this style? You run very little risk of getting cheesed out or anything like that. You block the ramp with a Zealot and those two buildings, so you can't afford to go for this very greedy build.
Yeah. Probe finds the drone that's headed towards his base, so he can reasonably assume that's the one it is. He does find it and confirm, and we'll be going home. And now there's a few things that Classic can do to pressure this base, obviously because it's far away and it's hard to reinforce, so we could see an early Gateway timing.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how Classic will play this, because he has shown recently that he does love to just defend, you know, just go for a third base, deflect anything that comes his way and build up. But when there's a gold base in play, it kind of it gives the Protoss player a lot of pressure to do something early on if he wants to start harassing, maybe go for a timing on that third. Because it is, as you said, super exposed out there. There's no way that a Zerg that, you know, is caught off guard even slightly is going to have a chance of defending that hatchery.
Yeah. And as you can already see, he is going to keep the Zealot, puts it out here, and with a Stalker coming up, I think he's just going to walk across some pressure with that at the very least. We do have a quick Stargate follow-up, though, which is so far hidden from that Overlord.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense coming from Classic as well. And probably an Oracle into that third base. I'd be very surprised if we see a Gateway timing behind this or any sort of real pressure. It would be pretty uncharacteristic, but we already see a Sentry on the way as well from Classic, so I kind of feel like it will be that third base follow-up.
Yeah. And instead of moving out with a Stalker and the Zealot to poke, he wants to just keep the Zealot at the front to deny Zergling scouts, and he's going to use the Stalker to keep the Overlords at bay. So just total scout denial here, rather than any sort of early pressure with those Gateway units. And the Overlord is getting dangerously close to spotting that Stargate, and he can't block both of them here with just simply one Stalker.
Yeah, I actually think the one in the north is going to get a good scout off. It's going pretty much in that direction. It's got enough HP to last. As long as he doesn't turn around right now, he should be okay. But let's see what he actually sees.
He's going to see it.
Oh, he sees it. All right, he knows exactly what's going on.
So now we can react. There's some Spore Crawlers, obviously going to be a pretty good choice to help hold on to those bases. And we'll see if he wants to commit to aggression at the third that he expects to be coming up pretty soon here. He's going to lose actually both Overlords, and that hurts a little bit here.
Yeah, losing that second one, not as planned. There's that Forge follow-up as well as a couple more gates, so it will be that transition. And ByuL's pretty much got it all on lockdown. He's got 2 Queens at that gold base and Spores in the other one, so there's no real damage to be done with this Oracle at this point. But it will, you know, defend that third base from any sort of Ling aggression specifically. Look at that, he's even making a second Oracle.
Yeah, he's really committing to this. Lings are not going to be a threat at this third base with 2 Oracles out. Doesn't have anything to worry about.
Yeah, and you know what? He could actually bully these Queens at the gold base too, because maybe he's got like an idea, like, you know what? ByuL always does this. If he goes for that gold base, he only makes 2 Queens. He doesn't make a Spore Crawler. So if I get 2 Oracles, I can DPS down the Queens and make all those drones flee at least from that third
I think
base.
he's going to do exactly that, man.
Such a smart idea and really playing the player. And here we go. There's actually 1 transfused ready, so he's got to target down. Or simply just go for the drones, I guess.
Yeah, I guess if you just ignore the Queens, you can one-shot a drone like this, and that's what he's going to do. Force the drones to run. Already 9, 10 kills here, and he can actually get them on their way back. He's killing the drones with minerals in their mouths, too, so that's just lost money.
Wow. See, that's me overthinking it.
Oh, my God, 16 kills.
That is simply too much. That is ridiculous. From 2 Oracles, I didn't even think that should have happened with 2 Queens there. But he let, I guess he just ran them a little too far away from the Queens.
Yeah, he just was a bit too panicked there, it looks like.
Wow.
1,000 resources lost to none.
Yeah, that is impressive.
Well, he made a Spore now.
He makes a Spore. Well, I guess I'll make one now.
Burrow isn't going to be too useful here. There's simply 6 Lings on the map.
No, he's actually in a horrible place. Look at the supplies already. We do see Classic up about 20 supply.
Oh, man, this Queen is likely to go down if he doesn't move it back. There it goes, but 2 kills at least.
You know, 2 Oracles is really changing this game up.
Doing way too much damage with these. It's incredible.
Insane. What's that, 19 drones now going down?
Yeah, look at the worker count. Classic's ahead at 5 Harvesters with the third base. against a Zerg who doesn't yet even have a 4th.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. Blink on the way, +1, just about to finish.
Well, what does he hope to achieve with all these Lings versus this Gateway army that's already sizable, plus the Oracles? He's not going to be able to do much. I guess it's more of a defensive option for him at this point because he's certainly not going to be able to attack that 3rd with these Lings to get damage done.
Yeah, just like that counterattack option, I guess. Maybe look for anything on the map that he could try and take apart, but there's nothing he can do against +1 Gateway units already. And it's only going to get worse from here, because +2's in the way. Blink's Blink's like a 1/3 of the way through.
In his plan, it looks like is to just try to go for a quick Muta switch, but already there are Phoenixes on the map. He's been scouted. And he's got an Infestation Pit on the way now, too. It's almost as if he's trying to change the plan, but I think it's too late. Look at this, still not a single unit lost for Classic. Not a single unit.
Not a single unit. He's actually playing way too good right now. ByuL's in so much trouble. Oh, well, let's see what he can do. There's the Mutas on the way. Only a few, though, and Pathogen Gland's going to be the next choice.
It looks like he wants to trick him into making more Phoenixes and really commit to that while he goes into Infestors instead.
Well,
It's such a gimmicky way to play it at this point, but I mean, he's so far behind, I guess he doesn't have much of a choice. First unit lost here for Classic is going to be that Oracle. He's going to lose a Phoenix as well.
yeah, bit of a misplay there. Not entirely sure what he had planned. Maybe he wasn't expecting that Spore Crawler, but losing a Phoenix at this point could be a bad idea, as we do see 14 Mutas on the way now.
Yeah,
so he
now
committed
he's
hard to it. He's like, well, you know, that's all you got. Already lost one of them, but oh, the scout is going to see it. He should have an idea it's on the way if he was paying attention to the last second.
Yeah, well, he's definitely going to see it in just a second here if he wasn't paying attention there, because here they come.
Here they come.
Yeah, that Warp Prism.
Every direction.
Warp Prism definitely going to go down here. The Oracle in a shaky spot as well. Here come those Mutas. He starts another Phoenix and cannons here. And he's actually going to move across the map and attack. No, he decides to turn back the last second. He doesn't have Blink and 23 Stalkers.
23 Stalkers. He does have like a pretty sizable army for this, but he does have to deal with that pocket natural. Already making 2 cannons there, and already has 7 Stalkers just waiting. So he's not in a bad place to defend this regardless.
In fact, Phoenix is coming back to join as well. Could even tag those Mutas, and exactly that is what he does, because he knows if he tags them, he can follow them. He knows exactly where they are. There's no fear anymore of where they're going to be.
Yeah, really beautiful play there, that Revelation. Shuts everything down. These Mutas aren't going to really find much besides the straight pylon.
God, Classic is playing so well.
Yeah, man, he is by far the best defensive Protoss, I think, in this matchup currently. Just watching him the other week when he was playing against the Zerg, just deflecting everything to the last minute. Just really, really impressive play, and not really what we see from Protoss these days.
He's just so confident as well. Not even adding a second Stargate. He's getting +1 for Phoenixes and gets a Fleet Beacon, but he's like, second Stargate, nah, I'm fine. I got enough Gateway units on the ground, I got enough cannons, I'll be okay.
Yeah, he's like way too dominant as it is, and look at this. Corruptors being made and 5 Infestors out on the map. But what's he going to do against this giant Sentry Stalker Ball?
Well, I guess he's hoping he's going to crash Banelings into it. He's going to Baneling nest on the way.
I don't know about that.
So desperate right now.
Yeah, he's kind of freestyling. He's like, well, what do I do against it at this point? Everything is just being deflected completely. So flawlessly, actually. No damage has been done. 2 Oracles essentially won in the game in terms of economy. But here we go. One last engagement for ByuL.
Sick fungal dodge there. The fungal hits like nothing. Second fungal hits a few sentries, but that's not where the damage is here. And I think this is just going to be an insanely one-sided battle. Stalkers on the left side, totally uncontested, going at those Overlords. A fungal does catch the Phoenixes, but who cares? There's still no answer for this Gateway army. Those Corruptors are totally useless. The Stalkers blink forward. And ByuL's supply is dropping rapidly. GG.
Wow. Completely dominant play from Classic. He just had his number in every single way. And the next map is going to be Deadwing, so it's going to be even harder for ByuL to try and apply pressure, try and do any sort of damage early on.
The momentum is got to be massively in Classic's favor. Winning a game like that, you're going to feel like you're going to feel on top of the world.
Yeah, that is a ridiculous win right there. I'd never expect it to be so one-sided.
That was nearly a perfect game.
Practically was. Like, you know, when you do that much damage with 2 Oracles, 19 drones go down, like, in the early game, that is disgusting. I was never expect that to happen, even with 2 Queens there. You know, he should be able to deflect it, but he panicked just a little too hard, running him a little too far.
Yeah.
And they just all went down.
It just really hurts.
Great play on what ByuL does on that map when he goes for that gold base there. You know, only 2 Queens to defend, so he can take the hits and go for the drone kills. Or he could have killed the Queens either way. Like, he was in a great spot.
Certainly was.